Hello students, we are studying metric spaces, and in the last class we have studied two important new concepts, and those were the diameter of a non-empty set and the second one the bounded metric space. So let us begin with the first new concept, and it is diameter of a non-empty set. The diameter of A, it is equal to the supremum of the set D of A comma B, where A and B are any two points from the set A, means A and B ranges over the complete set A. Okay, so like such we have defined the diameter of a set. Diameter of the non-empty set may be finite or infinite. Second concept is the bounded metric space. A metric D on a non-empty set capital X is said to be bounded if there exists a real number k greater than 0, means k should be the positive real number, such that D of x comma y is less than equal to k for every pair of points x comma y belongs to the metric space X. That is, if the diameter of the metric space X is less than equal to k. If D is a bounded metric on the metric space X, then we say that the metric space X comma D is a bounded metric space. And if X comma D is not a bounded metric space, then we say that it is unbounded. Now let us study one example on this bounded metric space. And it is our serially example number 8. Example number 8. Let R infinity be the extended. Let R infinity be the extended set of real numbers. Real numbers. By the extended set of real numbers, we mean the set of all real numbers including minus infinity and plus infinity. Means that is the set of all real numbers. Set of all real numbers including plus infinity and minus infinity. As we know that plus infinity and minus infinity both are not real numbers. Okay, none of them is a real number. But if we consider R infinity, which is the set of all real numbers with two additional members as minus infinity and plus infinity, then we will define a function D on this set. The function D is defined by, let us define a function D on this set R infinity cross R infinity to the set R by D of x comma y is equal to the absolute value of the difference f of x minus f of y, and this is for all x comma y belongs to the set R infinity, and where the function f of x is given by f of x equal to, here three different values of f of x are given according as x is minus infinity, plus infinity, or x is a real number. So the first value is f of x is equal to the x upon 1 plus absolute value of x. This is the value of f of x, and it is when minus infinity is less than x is less than infinity, means when x is a real number. Next one, f of x is equal to 1, and this is the value of f of x when x is equal to plus infinity. And finally, let us suppose that f of x is equal to minus 1, and this is the value of f of x when x is equal to minus infinity. So like such the function f of x is defined. Next one, then we have to show that the metric space R infinity comma D is a bounded metric space. It is a bounded metric space. Bounded metric space. We will solve this example. Solution of this example is, here we have to show that R infinity comma D is a bounded metric space. And for that, first of all, we have to show that R infinity comma D is a metric space. Okay. So, firstly, we shall show that R infinity comma D is a metric space. R infinity comma D is a metric space. That will show first of all. Okay. So, and for that purpose, we have to prove the triangle inequality. We have to prove the triangle inequality. We know that to show that D is a metric, we have to show that D satisfies 4 conditions. And out of 4 conditions, first 3 conditions can be verified orally also. Therefore, we will prove the 4th condition, that is the triangle inequality. And to prove the triangle inequality, first of all, we will consider that x, y, z, all 3 are the members of real numbers. So, let x, y, z belongs to R. Means x, y, z are any 3 real numbers. Means x, y, z are any 3 real numbers. Then we have d of x comma y. Means the distance between x and y. It is equal to the, use the definition of the d function. So it is equal to the absolute value of f of x minus f of y. And as here x and y both are the real numbers, therefore f of x is nothing but it is equal to the x upon 1 plus absolute value of x. And again, as y is a real number, therefore f of y is nothing but it is equal to the y upon 1 plus absolute value of y. So this way now. Okay. Now, as z is again a real number, therefore we will add and subtract one quantity in this modulus, and that quantity is z upon 1 plus mod z. And therefore we will get this is equal to the absolute value of x upon 1 plus mod x minus z upon 1 plus mod z plus z upon 1 plus mod z and minus y upon 1 plus mod y as it is. So see here, we have subtracted the term z upon 1 plus mod z and added the same term z upon 1 plus mod z. So therefore, this is equivalent to saying that we have added 0, and adding 0 to a real number doesn't make any change. So therefore, we have added and subtracted z upon 1 plus mod z. Now, we'll make two groups. We'll make first group of first 2 terms and next group of last 2 terms. Okay, and we will use the property of the absolute value function, and that property is absolute value of a plus b is less than equal to the absolute value of a plus absolute value of b, and therefore using that property we can write down this is less than equal to the absolute value of x upon 1 plus mod x minus z upon 1 plus mod z. This is the first term, and plus the second term is absolute value of z upon 1 plus mod z minus y upon 1 plus mod y. Okay. Now next one, use the definition of d function. So therefore, using the definition of d function, the same can be written as this is equal to the d of x comma z plus d of z comma y. Okay. So see here, therefore what we have shown, so this implies that d of x comma y is less than equal to the d of x comma z plus d of z comma y. And this we have shown for all the points x, y, z belongs to the R. Therefore, triangle inequality. Therefore, triangle inequality holds in this case. In this case means when x, y, z all are the real numbers. Next one. Now we will consider that if x is infinity and y is minus infinity, then we will check whether the triangle inequality holds or not. Okay. So, again, if x is equal to infinity and y is equal to minus infinity, then we have the value of x comma y, it is equal to the absolute value of f of x minus f of y. But here as x is equal to infinity, therefore by the definition of the function f, we have f of x as 1, then minus sign as it is. Again, here as y is equal to minus infinity, therefore by the definition of the function f, we have f of y means f of minus infinity, it is equal to minus 1. So therefore f of y is minus 1. Now again as earlier, we will add and subtract one real number in this modulus, and that real number is z upon 1 plus mod z, and therefore this can be written as this is equal to the absolute value of 1 minus z upon 1 plus mod z plus it is z upon 1 plus mod z and minus of this minus 1 as it is. Okay. Now again use the property of the absolute value function that mod of a plus b is less than equal to mod a plus mod b, and therefore this can be written as this is less than equal to absolute value of 1 minus z upon 1 plus mod z plus absolute value of z upon 1 plus mod z minus of this minus 1. Okay, and this is nothing but which is equal to the first one is distance between x and z. So this is distance between x and z, and the second term is the distance between z and y. Distance between z and y by using the definitions of f of infinity, f of minus infinity, and f of x when x is a real number. Okay. So therefore whatever we have shown, so therefore we have shown that this implies that distance between x and y, it is less than equal to the distance between x and z plus distance between z and y. This is when we have shown that when x is equal to infinity, y is equal to minus infinity, and z is a real number. Now similarly we can show that if x is minus infinity and y is infinity, then also the triangle inequality holds. Similarly, when x is minus infinity and y is infinity, then also the triangle inequality holds. So therefore we have shown that in all the cases triangle inequality holds. So therefore D is a metric. Therefore D is a metric on the set R infinity, and hence R infinity comma D is a metric space. R infinity comma D is a metric space. So firstly we have shown that R infinity comma D is a metric space. Now next one will show that it is a bounded metric space. So for that purpose we will consider X and Y as any two members of the set R infinity. Now let X comma Y be any two members or elements of the set R infinity. Then we have -1 is less than equal to fx is less than equal to 1, and also -1 is less than equal to f of y is less than equal to 1. Why it is so? See the definitions of fx and f of y. Okay, maximum value of f of x is 1 and minimum value of f of x is -1 for all x belongs to the R infinity. Similarly for the y, therefore we have fx and f of y both lie between -1 and +1 for all x and y lying in the set R infinity. Okay, now from this it is clear that if we consider the difference of f of x and f of y, then we have the distance between x and y, which by the definition of D function is nothing but it is equal to the modulus of f of x minus f of y. And as f of x and f of y both lie between -1 and +1, therefore modulus of the difference f of x minus f of y will be definitely less than equal to 2, because we will consider the extreme cases. For example, if f of x is -1 and f of y is 1, then modulus of f of x minus f of y will be modulus of -1 minus 1. -1 minus 1 is -2 and the absolute value of -2 is +2. Next one, if we consider f of x as 1 and f of y as -1, then modulus of f of x minus f of y will be 1 minus of -1. 1 minus of -1 means 1 plus 1 and the absolute value of 2 is 2. Next, if we consider f of x equal to -1 and f of y equal to -1, then in that case we have the absolute value of f of x minus f of y equal to the absolute value of -1 minus of -1, but minus of -1 will be +1. In that case we will get modulus of 1 minus 1 means modulus of 0, which is 0, and so on. By taking the different values of f of x and f of y lying between -1 and +1, we conclude that the absolute value of difference f of x minus f of y will be always less than equal to 2. Okay, so and this is for all the points x and y belongs to the set R infinity. So therefore distance between x and y is less than equal to 2, and this is our k, which we have used in the definition of the bounded metric space. Okay, so therefore distance between x and y is less than equal to 2 for all x comma y belongs to R infinity, and therefore by the definition of the bounded metric, hence R infinity comma D is a bounded metric space. Is a bounded metric space. Bounded metric space. So in this way we have solved this example number 8. Now one important remark we will mention here. That remark is, if we have the unbounded metric space, then on that unbounded metric space we can define the D function in many different ways. so that the resulting new metric space can be become as the bounded metric space. Means if XD is unbounded metric space, if XD is an unbounded metric space, then also we can define matrix. We can define matrix D dash, D double dash, and so on, such that the matrix spaces X comma D dash, X comma D double dash are bounded metric spaces. Bounded metric spaces, as we have done in the example number 5. Okay, as in example number 5. In example number 5, we have shown that if XD is any metric space, bounded or unbounded, any one, then we have defined a metric D1 such that D1 of X comma Y is equal to the D of X comma Y divided by 1 plus D of X comma Y. In such a way, we have defined D1 in the example number 5, where X and Y belongs to the metric space X. Then we have shown that this D1, which is defined in such a way, is always a metric on X, and therefore X comma D1 was the metric space. Okay, and we also observe that we have 0 is less than equal to D1 of X comma Y, which is less than 1 for all X comma Y belongs to the metric space X. Why? See here the definition of the D1. In the definition of D1, we have the distance between X and Y as the distance between X and Y divided by 1 plus distance between X and Y. Here the denominator is greater than the numerator, therefore definitely value will be always less than 1, and as both numerator and denominator are non-negative, therefore the value of D1 is always greater than equal to 0. So this means that the 0 is less than equal to D1 of X comma Y is less than 1 for all X comma Y belongs to X. Okay, therefore here X comma D1 is a bounded metric space. It is a bounded metric space. So with this note, we'll stop here. Today we have studied two important concepts. The first one was the diameter of a non-empty set, and the second one was the bounded metric space. With this, we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next class. Thank you.